Welcome to the world of biology through Jaguar classes from Jagran Public School, Noida. In this 11th class lecture, video lecture of this part, we will continue with the kingdom Animalia and the topics that we will cover in today's class. We will cover up the characteristics of non-chordates phyla, Mollusca and Echinodermata. About phyla Annelida and Mollusca, we have already discussed in earlier video lecture. And after today's class, the learning outcomes that we are expecting to develop, you will be able to know and recall different non-chordate phyla and their characteristics, as well as you will able to describe and compare the salient features of phylum Mollusca and Echinodermata. In skill based learning outcomes, you would be able to practice your listening skills and speaking skills to compare and describe various characteristics of phylum Mollusca and Echinodermata. You will also be able to critically analyze the identifying features of different non-chordates phyla that we have discussed in earlier classes as well as that we will discuss in today's class. Competencies that we are expecting to be developed after today's learning. You will be able to use your collaborative learning skills, critical thinking skills, observation and analytical skills to solve HOTS and case study based exercises which are given for practice related with these topics. Now let's start with our today's class with the classification of non-chordates part 2. In this part 5 of this 11th class chapter Animalia, and we will continue here with the non-chordates phylum Mollusca and Echinodermata. As we have discussed in earlier class about the general characteristic feature and special characteristic feature of phylum Annelida and Arthropoda, in this class we will focus on Mollusca and Echinodermata, and now come to know about these phyla in detail with their general characteristic feature and special features. Now, first of all, we will start with phylum Mollusca. The characteristic of the animals belonging to this phylum are the animals are soft-bodied, bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic on the basis of presence of germinal layers. They are true coelomates and the body is divided into head, foot and visceral mass covered by the mantle and calcareous shell secreted by the mantle. The pharynx contains a rasping organ which is known as radula, and the circulatory system is of open type with blue colored blood due to the presence of copper containing pigment hemocyanin. Respiration in these animals is by means of ctenidia with osphaeridium, which are known as chemoreceptors at the base of their uh, nervous system or sense organs. The excretory system in these animals comprises a pair of metanephridia. Some animals have Cabers organ also. The nervous system consists of paired cerebral, pleura, pedal and visceral ganglia joined by the nerve connectives and commissures. The animals belonging to this phyla are generally unisexual and fertilization is internal or external. Veliger larva is a stage in the development of the animal and trochophore stage may be present or absent in this phylum. Now, with further differentiation into different subgroups which are known as classes in mollusca. We can classify the mollusca phylum into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes. About these classes, in your 11th class standard, there is not the detail of these classes, but you should know about the name of these classes. Aplacophora, Monoplacophora, Polyplacophora, Gastropoda, Scaphopoda, Bivalvia and Cephalopoda. These are the 7 classes in mollusca phylum. Have a brief characterization of these classes. Aplacophora representatives are given here in this figure. The body is cylindrical, worm-like with bilateral symmetry. Radula is present in the buccal capsule. Head, mantle, foot, cell and nephridia are absent in this class. Examples are Chaetoderma and Neomania. The next class is Monoplacophora. The body is segmented and bilaterally symmetrical with a single shell and flat foot. Gills are external and arranged ventrally. 5 pairs of nephridia are present. Free-swimming trochophore larvae are formed in this class, and examples are Neopilina that you can see here in this chart. Then the next class is Polyplacophora. The body is bilaterally symmetrical, dorsally convex and ventrally flat. The shell has 8 plates that you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plates. Radula is well formed. Example, chitin, chitin and cryptochitin. Here it is shown as chitin. Gastropoda class of this mollusca phylum have the animals with body and shell are asymmetrical and spirally coiled. A distinct head, foot and coiled visceral mass are present here. Examples are Pila, Limex, Helix and Patella, and here the organism that is shown is Pila, a big large size snail like organism. Scaphopoda, the outer cell resembles an elephant tusk that you can see here, the design like elephant tusk, their body design, and the foot is conical in shape and it is modified for digging up. And examples are Dentalium and Pulsellum. These are the 2 other classes of mollusca. Bivalvia. The body is bilaterally symmetrical and laterally compressed. The shell has 2 valves that you can see here and hinged mid-dorsally. A distinct head is absent, mantle is bilobed, and in this class, Unio, Mytilus and Pecten are coming. Cephalopoda class have the animals with where the body is bilaterally symmetrical, spirally chambered, external shell is present, and the foot is modified to form sucker-bearing arms around the head. Examples are sepia, loligo, octopus, and nautilus. Here you can see the octopus. Phylum Arthropoda we have already covered in the previous class. Now we will come to the next phylum, Echinodermata. The animals belonging to this phylum shows the characteristic feature as the animals are exclusively marine. They show radial pentamerous symmetry and are triploblastic with an oral and aboral surface. They have a water vascular system called ambulacral system, and the circulatory system is open and heart is absent in this phylum. Locomotion takes place through tube feet or podia. The exoskeleton contains a shell called theca or test. Respiration takes place through papillae or gills, and cloacal respiration is also observed. The animals are unisexual. Fertilization is external. Development includes bilaterally symmetrical free-swimming larvae, Pluteus larva and Echinopluteus larva, Auricularia larva and Doliolaria larva are the different stages in larval form. The classification of Echinodermata phylum can be done in two subphylum, Palmatozoa and Eleutherozoa. Palmatozoa consist of only one class, Crinodia. Sea lilies and feather stars are coming in this subphylum. And Eleutherozoa consist of four classes, Asteroideae, in which starfish is one of the example, and Ophiuridae, where the brittle star is coming in this class, and Echinoideae, where sea urchin is coming in this class, and Holothuridia is which sea cucumber is the one of the famous example. And the animals belonging to this phylum shows a characteristic feature of regeneration. Here are the four classes of Eleutherozoa, in which Asteroideae in starfish like organisms are coming in this category or this class. Ophiuridae, brittle star like animals are coming in this class of Echinodermata. Echinoideae, sea urchin, you can see here sea urchin like animals are coming in this class, and Holothuria, sea cucumber like animals are coming in this class. Now about the Chordata phylum, we will take the in next class, and now in the next session of this class I will show some presentation related with the molluscans and echinodermates to understand their identifying feature with the help of these virtual images that we will take from the class 9th presentations, in which you can see the important characteristic feature of these two phylum, Mollusca and Echinodermata, which will help you to understand with the help of virtual images. You can understand these characteristic feature and identifying feature in a well manner. Now let's start with our this presentation. Here, first of all, we will start with this 3D on mollusks.
Mollusca. If you've ever had a chance to walk along a beach, you've probably seen different varieties of seashells. These shells are just the outer skeleton of the organism that lives or once lived within them. We refer to these organisms as invertebrates because they don't have a vertebral column. Within the shells, the organisms are soft-bodied. The Latin word for soft is mollis, and so this group of organisms is classified under the phylum Mollusca. Mollusks can be found in a variety of different shapes, sizes, and colors. They are as diverse as a tiny snail to a giant squid. If we look at a clam, we can see the two outer shells, but inside we'll find the actual animal. Around the soft body is a thin protective layer called the mantle. The space between the mantle and the shell is the mantle cavity. Many mollusks move with the help of a muscular foot, and they respire through gills similar to those found in fish. Their circulatory system is an open type, meaning the blood is not contained in blood vessels. Phylum Mollusca can be subdivided into three classes: Gastropoda, Pelecypoda, and Cephalopods. Class Gastropoda is also known as Univalvia and includes the one-shelled organisms. Within this group, we'll find snails, slugs, and conches. They move using their muscular, slippery foot. Class Pelecypoda is also known as Bivalvia, a group of two-shelled organisms. This water-living class includes clams and oysters. Class Cephalopoda includes squids, cuttlefish, and octopuses, animals which have tentacles extending from their heads. These tentacles are often covered in small suction cups to help the cephalopod catch its prey. With the octopus and squid, the shell is inside the body. The characteristic feature of this group is the presence of 8 long arm-like structures called oral arms. Squids and octopuses have well-developed nervous system and large eyes. Unlike other mollusks, the blood of cephalopods flows through blood vessels inside a closed circulatory system. Summary. Phylum Mollusca includes soft-bodied organisms with an external or internal shell. Mollusks can be subdivided into the classes of Gastropoda, Pelecypoda, and Cephalopoda.
With that, the characteristic feature of molluscans are clear to you. Now try to understand with the help of this presentation the characteristic feature of echinoderm.
Echinodermata. If you've seen a starfish, you have seen an animal belonging to the phylum Echinodermata. The term echinoderm is a Greek word meaning spiny skin. Echinoderms are invertebrates, meaning they are animals without a vertebral column. They are only found in the seas and oceans, so we would identify them as marine organisms. Their bodies are covered by calcareous plates, which are composed of calcium carbonate that projects as spines. Structurally, echinoderms have a pentamerous or 5-sectioned radial symmetry. This means most will be star-shaped with 5 arms extending from a central disc. They also have a unique water vascular system, a network of water-filled canals that helps in respiration, taking in food, and also circulation. Echinoderms have the remarkable ability to regenerate or regrow a missing part. If a starfish loses its arm, a new one will grow in its place. The major classes of phylum Echinodermata include Crinoidea, Asteroidea, Holothroidea, and Echinoidea. Class Crinoidea includes sea lilies and feather stars. Class Asteroidea includes sea stars, and class Ophiroidea includes brittle stars. Class Holothroidea includes sea cucumbers. Class Echinoidea includes sea urchins and sea dollars. Summary. Echinodermata are invertebrate animals that inhabit only marine waters. The body of an echinoderm is covered in spine-like structures. Most echinoderms display pentamerous symmetry. Sea stars, sea cucumbers, sea urchins, and sea dollars are members of Echinodermata.
And with that, I will finish our today's class, and I hope that you will be able to understand the important characteristic feature of these two phylum, phylum Mollusca and phylum Echinodermata.